Hi, everyone. Welcome to Inside the Block. This is the July edition, and it is sponsored by Roomright Group Solutions. And my name is Lon Hudman. I am your host for today, and I'm joined by two great guests. We have, first of all, Shannon Mundy, who is the director of sales, the dual director of sales, so to speak, for two different properties for the Scarlet Hotel Group. And we also are joined by Vangie Mercado, who is the sales manager of the Fairfield Inn Suites in Destin, Florida, which is one of the two properties that Shannon is the director of sales over. So welcome, ladies, to our discussion. Our topic today is going to be behind the buy and how group travel decisions are being made today. And it's an interesting topic, and I think it's something both of you are going to come from the hotel side. A little bit about me. I spent most of my career in event production, and I also did quite a bit of time on the corporate side doing corporate travel. So I can kind of come from a different perspective as the buyer, and we can talk about how things have changed, how the sales process has maybe evolved over the last little while. So let's start, though, by having each of you tell me a little bit about the properties where you are involved in the sales process. And I'll begin with you, Shannon. And since Vangie is the sales manager at the Fairfield Inn, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Hampton Inn in Sarasota, Florida?
So the Hampton Inn, so we are conveniently located right at the entrance of the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. And Sarasota has a huge market for groups, more so in the sports industry. So we deal with a lot of travel agents from that aspect. And then, of course, the individual locations such as IMG Academy um, uh, as well. Let's see. Our property, because we are located right at the airport, it's centrally located to downtown Sarasota and then downtown Bradenton as well. So we get a lot of nice last minute business as well as you have your leisure travelers, you have your business travelers, and then very heavy with group too.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the sports travel part of it because for 40 years I've been coaching baseball, youth baseball, and travel
Yeah.
baseball. And so, yeah, I'm very aware of the factors that go into a decision when it comes to doing group travel for a baseball
Yeah.
team. And it's a growing market. It's huge. People don't realize
Oh,
how big that market is, for youth travel, whether you're talking baseball, volleyball, soccer. I mean, it's going on all the time. And I'm very aware of Sarasota and how significant that sports travel is for that market. So.
yeah. It's pretty crazy. And of course, everybody wants to travel during our high season and have tournaments during that.
Right, exactly. All right. So, Vangie, now tell us a little bit about what makes the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Destin unique and special, and someplace that sports teams or anyone else doing group travel will want to go to.
Yeah, our property is centrally located in Destin, and also like we are right across from the Henderson State Park Beach, which is this is like one of the tourist spot. And we are heavily more into leisure as well as group bookings and like last minute as well. And we do have a lot of tournaments going on here in Destin. um he Especially with the governments as well. So um what else do we have? So like more likely February, March, April, May, we do have like big tournaments, and we're just like half a mile from the sports center, so which is actually good as well. So um yeah, what else can I add? Should
Oh, I've just
Shannon?
so I've never actually booked a group trip to Sarasota. Like I said, I'm very aware of it because of the sports market, but I have done a group trip to Destin, and I have to tell you, I loved it. I absolutely loved Destin, Florida. The beaches were the most amazing beaches I've ever been on. That white sand was incredible. And I keep saying I'm going to go back. It's probably been 5 or 6 years since I was there. And I keep saying, oh, I'm going back next year. And I just haven't got back yet. I'm dying to go back to Destin. So yeah, it's a very
It's
great place.
it
So,
is gorgeous. The Emerald Coast is what we call it.
oh, it's
It's gorgeous.
beautiful. Yeah, I
Good.
seriously had a great time in
Oh,
Destin.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I'd
it's
recommend it.
really good for families of all kinds, you know. There's so much to do, not only on the beaches, but outside of the beaches, shopping, entertainment and that kind of stuff. So Justin is well-rounded for really all travelers.
No, I agree, and it's very affordable compared to possibly other destinations that you would be looking at. So, yeah, I loved it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how travel decisions are being made today. And let's start with and like I said, either one of you can answer. And I'd kind of like to hear from both of you. Um, you mentioned, Shannon, that you've been doing this before, actually before we started recording, that you've been in the industry for about 10 years. So I'd like to know how you have seen the sales process change over the last 10 years and specifically post-COVID.
So it really depends on the area that you are selling. As far as like competitiveness, obviously Sarasota is very competitive with the other properties, especially with the sports industry, the sports tournaments being so wide. They become citywide. And they really book up all the hotels in the area. So it all comes down to, you know, the timing of the tournaments. Is it during your high, mid, low season? Um, and then your availability. And you always have to look at your year over year, what you've done and how you produce year over year, to see is it worth the squeeze, right? To even take the group or not take the group. I mean, obviously, response times are to the inquiries are so important. You want to respond as quickly as possible, because that shows, you know, whoever is sending out the RFP or the request, that you are on top of your game. You also want to build somewhat of a relationship with that person to get to know them and their needs as well. So it's not just email oriented. You want to talk to them over the phone as well, just to build more rapport with them. Um, you know,
What,
you're
let me ask you
selling.
this. Let me ask you, stop right there. What types of things have you found help you increase that response time and make you more, faster to react and respond to requests?
So, I mean, even like with our LNRs, like when our LNRs reach out to us, we need to stop what we're doing and take care of them immediately. And that's how I am with any RFP that comes through. And that's how I teach all of my other sales managers that are under me or work with me, that working with your business partners and any RFPs that come through, they need to be handled and shoved to the top of the line, rather than, oh, that can wait. Let me just finish what I'm doing. Um, because I think it's the most important thing that you can do is respond and take care of those items, as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
So.
great.
yeah.
Go ahead, Benji.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon is my director of sales. She is above me. So we the way how she's handling with her other property, that's what she's teaching me as well. So like to be on top with our clients and that supporting their needs and also like responding quickly as possible. So in that way they will feel valued as well, and yeah, so
Have you
Other
seen?
things
Go ahead.
that matter, just being flexible with your contracts, if you can. I'm a very flexible person when it comes to trying to meet the needs of those that are wanting the group blocks and everything. Um, to an extent, I mean, there's some things that we cannot accommodate, but for the most, I try to accommodate everything that I can because I'm giving them a price that, it works well for the hotel's needs in order to increase our revenue, but at the same time, helping them within their budget per se and their needs and wants. So just being flexible and once you respond in that timely manner, you uphold you're starting the reputation for yourself and not only for yourself, but the hotel as well as being timely, flexible, and so on and so forth. So
Right, yeah, you build a reputation, and then that tends to follow you. So have you seen the decision timelines shrink or change where people are? I remember back in the day, I mean, we would book group travel years in advance, at least months in advance, and it seems to me like those timelines have shrunk and have been compressed, and that people are making decisions in a shorter period of time. Are you
uh,
seeing that?
I mean, it varies really. I mean, I've got groups that I've already secured for 2028. My 2027 obviously is almost filled, especially like during our high season and everything. So I think it just depends really what segment we're talking about. We have these tournaments and they are reoccurring. So the city sets those up. They are the ones that contract these tournaments. So they are trying to contract them out for 3, 5 years consecutively down the road so that it's known for the city and for the area. Um, so I think it just depends on what area you are. I think Destin is different. Whereas they have more of a shorter booking time than let's say Sarasota does for certain things. So it all depends on the city that you are in as to the lead time for them,
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
they vary.
Yeah, I'm assuming that repeat business is probably more, um, I guess, more significant in Sarasota. Like you said, they're booking further in advance, so the repeat business is there. And you probably are looking more at maybe some spontaneous group travel. They decided, we're going to go and we're going to do an incentive trip to Destin. I don't know. Is that true, Vangie?
Um, Here is kind of it's different as well. But just like when Sharon mentioned when it comes to like a repeat business, like recurring tournaments, so I already secure like a year ahead for 2027. But other than that, there we do secured last minute bookings like in less than 2 months prior to their arrival date. So more likely on to like weddings or like in family reunion. But also it varies because I do receive like ahead of time inquiries as well and like closing the business. So it really depends. It's changed a lot. So
The one
Well, I
biggest
remember.
difference,
Oh, go ahead.
the one biggest difference with Sarasota and Destin is in Destin, we have not many hotels are located on the beach. So we're in major competition with the condos that are all up and down those beaches. And of course, those condos, a lot of families, they love them, even for when they're traveling for sports, because they want to also take the time and use when they're down there as a vacation as well. So it's very competitive, even much more competitive in a different sense for Destin because they are competing with the condos as well. And the condos can come in at cheaper rates. And of course, they have their kitchens and all of that in there. Mind you, we can offer the free breakfast, but when you wake
yeah.
up and go on your balcony and you're right there on the beach, it's a different setting and a different idea of what people are wanting. So
Yeah, I what I was going to say is that I remember when we booked that group trip to Destin, we actually had booked a another trip, and it was in Mexico, and we couldn't go because it was during COVID, and so we
Oh,
had to find another location, and so it was a pretty quick turnaround, and we were able to
yeah.
find a place in Destin, and the people were excited because we could travel there, we could travel to Destin, and
Right, right.
we also were approached by, the condos. We could do like use the condos, but we chose the hotel. We thought that was, for our group, that was a better situation.
Yeah. Well, we as hoteliers in that area do appreciate you choosing.
Well, we had a great time. It's all I know. It was fantastic. So when you have one business, okay, recently during the sales process, what have been the key factors that have allowed you to win business? And maybe after that, if you've lost business, maybe what are some of the factors that would maybe cause or help or have someone decide to go somewhere else?
So, some key factors, obviously, the biggest one is the rates. Pricing is huge. Everybody is very conscientious of the money that they spend. And then the amenities that come along with that spend, right? So, really at both properties, we have complimentary parking, complimentary breakfast, Wi-Fi. Our locations are really, really good, centrally located, to meet kind of all kind of aspects of needs of leisure or business travelers. Um, Another big factor is your reputation, the hotel's reputation, online reviews, and making sure that those are good, that the guests that we have had have been taken care of very well, and they show in the reviews. So that's another one as well. Obviously, response time to that inquiry is huge, and of course, your flexibility. And then we both all have meeting spaces that adds another value if it's corporate or if it's even leisure and they want to gather in one area and have like a private event. We have that capability as well.
Okay, on both properties, you have the meeting
Mhm.
space. All right.
Both
So,
properties.
Vangie, tell me a little bit about your experience. When you've won business, what do you think have been the biggest factors?
When I win a
Yeah,
business,
when you win business with group travel, they decide they're going to come to the Fairfield Inn. What have been the biggest factors in them making that decision?
yeah, so the location also, I mean, we are centrally located and we do have like add-ons like complimentary breakfast, free parking, we do have electric vehicle station as well, and we are right next
Wow.
to the yeah. And also we are right next to the Walmart, which is just like half a mile, like to for walking distance that the guests can just easily walk. And if they need something, they don't need any transportation. And also like meeting space, because some other groups that they wanted a meeting space and in the same location also with the guest room. So that's also like a big factor how only with like the small ones because we can only accommodate 30 attendees to the maximum. But other than that, like if they need more, then I can refer them to our one of our partners that just like half a mile as well from us. And we also focus on our guest satisfaction, and that's also one thing, like a good reviews. That's yeah. So in that way, our guests will that will keep them coming back into our properties. So yeah, and also like as a Marriott uh hotel, like there's some benefits as well as a elite member. So those are one thing as well. So
All right, great.
yeah.
So I know that both of you, you have different partners that you work with, whether it's DMC companies, whether it's meeting planners, or technology companies like RoomRight. You partner with them. What are some things that partners have done that have helped you in the sales process, or what are some things that you would like to see your partners do better that would help you in the sales process?
So for me, I have had some partners, um, like if I submit a proposal, I have had some partners say, "Hey, Shannon, just to let you know, within your comp set, your rate is way off compared to everybody else." So they help me kind of remain more competitive, so that you're just not A, going to lose out, or B, even if they accept your hotel, because sometimes they're bringing in multiple hotels for the event, then I won't not sell my rooms, right? If
Uh,
mine is higher than the others or whatnot. Um, I wish more partners were like that. Now they're giving me like an average of what our comp set is offering, um, not necessarily what each particular hotel is offering, but that's always helpful because I mean, really, sometimes you just never know how far off you are from everybody else. And if it is, let's say, citywide, you kind of want, I would say, think everybody to be relatively around the same rate so that all the teams or whoever's coming in can make their decision probably more on their likes and dislikes for each type of brand or type of hotel that they want to stay in and used to staying in.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes
And
sense.
then it's the same thing as well to me. Like 2 weeks ago or like a week ago, I submitted a bid and then I appreciated when the third party told me that the our the rate that I submitted is more likely higher compared to our comset. So I appreciate them. So for us, that helps us understand as well and making sure that we stay aligned with our comset. And also like, when there's some group blocks prospect, I always when they go somewhere else, I always ask and follow up like if which hotels and also like what is the rate they offer. So in that way it helps me better understand like, in the future just stay, competitive. So
Okay.
it really helps us.
Yeah, that's great. So as Room Group Solutions is the sponsor of the program, and you're partnering with Room how has Room helped you, or how can you see us helping you in the future with your flexibility and being able to, maybe um, bring in groups that, maybe last minute in certain situations, or even help out the groups that are there that may experience some attrition.
Um, well, we haven't received any groups as of yet through Room, right?
Right.
So we really there hasn't, yeah.
Doesn't sound like you have a lot of attrition though either. It sounds like that
No,
you're
so
pretty quick to.
really in our areas, attrition is like we don't do it. All of our blocks are courtesy blocks for the most part, just because of the areas that we in, the other hotels are not doing them. So it would really make it harder for us to win the business while having attrition when there are other hotels out there that they're getting quotes from or not, right?
Mhm.
So we just do not do attrition. They're all courtesy, but we keep in touch with everybody to make sure, like, if the block is not picking up, we'll reach out. Hey, what's the status? What are your expectations? And if it comes down to it, might ask, do you mind if we can wash rooms? But if you need them, and based on availability, we can add them back, right? So just being in constant communication with the group lead is important. But I would think that, I mean, I don't know, like if Roomright could send out like a list of opportunities to us directly so
Mhm.
that we may have a chance to get that business prior to. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and certainly,
Yeah,
our goal is to promote your properties to where you're always booked, and you're
right.
obviously not going to have experience any kind of an attrition because it's always going to be booked, and we're going to be promoting it to the point where
Yeah.
everybody's going to know about it. What about you, Vangie? Anything that you'd like to see us do at Roomright to help you out?
I will back up what Shannon said. I mean, she's our director, so what she was doing with her other properties, the same applied to me as well. So like we work together.
Okay.
So that's also one
Yeah.
thing that we would like to, with our
I mean,
property, at
All
least
right.
in.
we our inventory hasn't been wide open for Destin just because for right now. More so because we are in our high season and we're constantly filled up as it is. But we are hoping that as we move into our slower seasons, which is coming up really in the next 30 days, maybe 20 days or so, that we will get some interest in our property through Roomright and those companies that are looking.
Is the slower time for you guys like August through November, something like that?
From
So,
Destin, I
go.
don't know about Shannon's Sarasota, but here in Destin, it starts like August, like midweek of August until like August, September, and then October we kind of like filled up because there's plenty of like tournaments going on and a lot
Uh-huh.
of local events. But we still need some those need dates. But November, December, January, February, those are our slower season that we really need something,
Okay.
We need business.
All right, good to know. All right, one final question. How do you both see the future of group travel? And we talked a lot about how the youth sports market is just booming and it's growing. Um, do you see growth in other areas? Where do you see the future of group travel? And um, what can we all do together to maybe accelerate that, help it grow, and help the travel industry thrive?
I think group travel is becoming more and more competitive every day, every year, just because different, all this, like both cities, the inventory of hotels and condos is increasing. It's always increasing. Um, Obviously, as hoteliers, sometimes like in Sarasota, we're like, oh gosh, we don't need another hotel. It's just going to take away and slim everything down, right? So that's one of the biggest factors that I see um, of changing. Now, hopefully, the cities are because of that, they're able to bring in more let's say tournaments or business meetings or whatnot. The cities have to promote the cities to get the business travelers to want to host their conventions there, for the tournament directors to want to host the tournaments in those areas, right? So hopefully we are at the call of the city to do their job
Right.
to bring in and to advertise and promote what the cities offer, for the hotels to really take advantage of that. But the growth of the number of rooms that are added in both areas is it grows every year. So it's kind of like a catch 22, right?
Right. Well, you'd think if the city is, bringing in new hotels all the time, that they also have plans for more and more events so they can fill those hotels.
Yeah,
But hopefully
exactly.
that's what happens, right?
Yeah, well, yes, we hope. But us hoteliers, we're stubborn and we don't want that growth in the hotel industry because we want it all to ourselves, right?
Yeah, right,
We don't
right.
want to share anymore. But
Yeah.
just yeah, just making sure that you are knowledgeable of everything that's going on within your city, and then taking advantage of all the different outlets to get the group business that you can get, whether it room right or a hotel planner or whoever, and building those partnerships with each one, so that you are on top of their mind as far as referring business.
Right. So I think
Yeah.
that communication between you and your partners, so that the partners are just as aware of upcoming events or opportunities that they can sell their customers on why they should go to Sarasota, why they should go to Destin,
Right.
because we're in constant communication and we're just as aware of what's going on in those areas. What about you, Vangie? What do you see as the future of group travel?
Oh, so it's I don't really know. Like it's kind of like actually
Like
it's
a
just hard
dog
here
eat
because
dog world out there.
We don't know.
because I mean it's very competitive. We just had like there was just less I mean just this year there's already like two hotels open brand new. So it's kind of really competitive market. I mean, and so so going business to business, I mean, like every event. Sorry, am I
I don't know. It's a
static?
little bit.
It sounds okay.
Yeah, break it up a little bit, but now you're
Oh,
good.
okay, yeah. So it's kind of hard. So like I am leveraging like going to every events that also like make you stand out. Like okay, I represent this hotels, and that way they're gonna keep us in mind in the future. And even though they're not bringing some locals, they're not bringing people from out of town, but referrals are really much appreciated as well. So uh it's kind of hard. So
Well, we certainly hope to do everything we can to promote both your properties,
yes.
and help you be successful and make sure that those rooms are filled. And any suggestions you have for us of how we can improve or how we can help the overall travel industry, we would appreciate it. So just please stay in contact with us, communicate with us, and we can work together to make both of your properties successful, but also make the travel industry grow and
Perfect.
succeed.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Juan.
All
thank
right.
you.
Hey, thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it again. I want to thank Shannon and Vangie for joining us on Inside the Block, and we'll have another one in August. So thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Juan. You too.